Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and this is our 2,500 subscriber video. Enjoy. So today I thought we should do something a little bit special because we've hit another little milestone on the channel. So today I thought I'd do something a little bit special, a little bit different. Usually I concentrate in the budget market, but today I have what would be a lot of people's Grail watch in for review. Now I've been loaned this watch by my boss Steve. He's once again come through for me. He bought this watch. He bought this watch so he could wear it in work. He wanted something a little bit more comfortable on wrist. He already has a Speedmaster and a few other watches. But he has a Speedmaster that he didn't really want to wear in work because of the metal bracelet. So he thought he'd go out and pick up a Seamaster. As you do. This is the same fella that when I met him and asked him about watches, his reply to me was, nah, don't really like them. Don't have things on my wrist. And now he's got a Speedmaster, a Seamaster, and a horde of other watches. The particular watch that we are reviewing today is the Omega Seamaster 300 meter Co-Axial. It comes in at £4,170. It's a pricey little number, but arguably it's also really good value. Seamasters were introduced in 1948. This coincided with Omega being the official timer of the Olympic Games and their 100-year anniversary. What better time to launch a watch that will become your longest serving product? It's amazing how long these things have been going for. In 1953, another watch brand called Blancpain came out with their dive watch, which set the wheels in motion for many other brands, including Rolex. And later on, in 1957, Omega joined them with the Omega Seamaster 300. Strangely enough, the 300 actually only had 200 meters water resistance. The two different camps of thought on that one. One camp says that Omega simply didn't like the name Seamaster 200. So Seamaster 300 sounded better, so they went with that. The other camp is that Omega only had the facilities to test the watch to 200 meters, but they theorized that it could do a little bit more. It could withstand 300. I wasn't around, so I can't tell you which version of events are true, if either. But a little bit of a factoid there for you. The Seamaster started appearing on the big screen in 1995 alongside the new James Bond. He wore an Omega Seamaster, which later became referred to as the Bond watch. And ever since 1995, James Bond has worn an Omega Seamaster, all the way up to Daniel Craig in the latest James Bond film with this Seamaster, which is an absolute beauty. It's also been worn by many other famous people, including Olympic gold medalist Michael Phelps. What better watch for a swimmer to wear than an Omega Seamaster? There's also a lovely story behind the one that Prince William wears to this day. It was one that he was gifted by his late mother, Diana. Obviously a very sentimental item, as these probably do become. With that elongated introduction out of the way, let me get this off wrist, get it on the desk, and let's get into this review, guys. So this time, Steers actually trusted me with the box as well as the watch. He actually left me to get this home on a bus. So yeah, that was a anxious little trip for me. It's got a lovely little steel looking button at the front here to open it up with. Really nice solid wooden box. I imagine it'll give you a really positive unboxing experience. Metal hinges, and the Omega Seamaster is sat perfectly in the middle here on a really premium cushion. Let me just take this off here, put this to one side. Underneath we have a little bag. If someone can tell me what this is for, right, that'd be dead helpful, because me and Steve had a massive argument about what this does. And I know what a bag does, but what it does. A little tag in the bottom also, and a little leather looking pouch. Now I theorise that this is what you place your watch on, I guess, so you don't scratch it. I don't quite know what it does, but if you can let me know, that'd also be great. So as I said in the intro, this is not the cheapest watch in the world, far from it actually. It comes in at £4,170 at the moment, believe the prices on Amigas have just risen this year. The diameter of this one from here to here is 42.7 millimeters. It is a 42 millimeter watch stated on their measurements. Lug to lug, it is 49.3 millimeters, so just within that 50 millimeter wearability range. And these lugs are 20 millimeters. So this particular model is packed with the Amiga 8800 movement. It's a master coaxial, cost certified, 55-hour power reserve, 35 joules, 25,200 beats per hour movement. And the stated accuracy of this one is plus 5 seconds a day, which obviously cost certified within 6 seconds, isn't it? I believe it's 6 seconds. I'm sure you'll correct me in the comments section if it's not. This whole casing is produced in stainless steel with some lovely swooping lugs that curve down really nicely at the end of the case, which aids in its wearability. You see how it just droops straight down instead of elongating itself. Lovely curved ends on these lugs, very nice swooping motion. You also get that in the Speedmaster range, which is lovely to see also. We have a mixture of brushing and polishing on the finishing. As you can see down the side, some really high quality finishing on that brushing and some high quality polishing on the tops of the lugs. So I'll show you the back of the watch first. As you can see, a really lovely sight to see. This coaxial 8800 movement is just phenomenal to look at, to be honest, isn't it? With those lovely Geneva waves etched onto the movement itself. Very decorative, really does look the part. Amiga Master Coaxial 8800 printed on the rotor here, as you can see there. Around the edge we do have some information. We have diver 300 meters, 1,000 foot down at the bottom here. One thing that I would like to show you that I didn't actually know about these. So there was a lot of information missing from the outer side of the casing that you'd usually get. So if you look towards the lugs here, stainless steel, you look over here, we have a serial, a logo up here, something very different, I guess, something that I guess would aid them a lot when it comes to counterfeiting. The crown is very nicely tucked away inside these crown guards here that swoop in from the side of the case. The case really does have a very lovely flowing type of motion to it. Just unscrew this here. It's a cutting edge crown. First is for the date, second is for the time. You can see there hacking and hand winding movement. Screw this back in. Really easy to grip, easy to get hold of, very functional. Just take you to the side there, you can see the Amiga logo on the crown. Just there, signed crown. Up at the 10 o'clock here we have what looks like another crown. It's actually a helium release valve. Spinning out there, that's functionality for a actual dive watch, which this is at the base level a dive watch. I doubt many people are swimming with these, or well, I doubt many people are taking these diving, not at this price anyway, but it's nice to see that the actual prime function for this watch is still looked after. Tip you to there, you can see the helium HE. This bezel is absolutely iconic and instantly recognizable. In fact, if I spot someone with a Seamaster on, I can spot it instantly. It doesn't get past me just because of that bezel and the distinctive shape of them. Very recognizable pieces. This is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. It is a ceramic blue insert. We have a lume pip up at the 12 o'clock surrounded by this triangle and numerals in white engraved around the bezel. Very lovely action on this one. Absolutely solid. Not the easiest bezel to get hold of. As you can tell, amazing sound to it too. Very quality. You'd expect that a £4,000, wouldn't you? I mean, if this had a lot of bounce in it, I'd be giving Amiga hell at the moment. To finish off this case, we have a really quality piece of sapphire crystal. It is domed with AR coating on the top and bottom. Really lovely dome effect on this one, flows in with the bezel very nicely. Now as we move on to this dial, it's absolutely phenomenal. It is also a ceramic dial, as well as the bezel insert being ceramic. It is also a ceramic dial. It has this laser etched wave pattern through the dial, which is actually a very lovely effect. Something that Amiga have pulled off very well. Obviously a very premium dial in this one, being ceramic. Around the outer edge we have that broken minute track, which is printed to the dial. The real standout points on this dial to me, aside from that wave pattern, are these indices. Very pronounced, very tall, very large indices, which come straight up off the dial, pretty much as far as you could probably get them, to be fair. They are rhodium plated and SLN filled, superluminova filled. I'll show you the lume on this one in just a second. At 6 o'clock we have the date window, which I really enjoy on a watch. It doesn't really flow to the function that I usually mention with this one, because obviously we have a very unsymmetrical shaped case, but in terms of the dial, it adds to the symmetrical feature of it. It makes it more aesthetically pleasing, I believe, to have a date window down at the 6. Up at the 12 o'clock, we have the Amiga logo, which is printed to the dial. Seamaster below in the branded font that you would expect with professional following. Below that, below the handset, we have Co-Axial, master chronometer, 300 meters, 1000 foot. And either side of the 6 o'clock here, we have Swiss made. One thing that isn't exactly pronounced as soon as you see this piece is this little bit of printing here. The ZR02, that is the material that is used to make this dial. Very nice little feature that not everyone picks up on. You have to look a little bit closer because it obviously does flow with that wave pattern. Well, I don't think that's a print, I think that's an etching with the laser, but very unusual thing to find on a dial. As well as this bezel being absolutely iconic. Another feature in this watch is the handset, and again, iconic handset. The skeletonized sword style handset with the lume fill either side. These are also rhodium pieces with superluminova fill in the center. We have the triangular tip on the minute hand with a circular tip on the hour hand. This second hand here has a lollipop with a red tip at the edge. Don't know what it is about red tips on second hands, but it really does go, doesn't it? It works very well. Right, I'm just going to insert a lume shot just here for you. As you can see, is the Swiss quality that you would expect, especially at this price range. I mean, it's a dive watch, they're meant to be lumed well, and this is one of the better dive watches that you can pick up, one of the more premium pieces. One little thing to note is that the minute hand is actually lumed in a different colour to the rest of the indices. That's probably, I'm guessing, so it's more recognisable when you're actually diving. Again, not sure many people are using this for diving. Personally, I never would. But that's not just because I'm absolutely terrified of the water. That's also because this costs £4,000 and I wouldn't like to knock it on a rock or anything like that. Now, Steve picked this up on the rubber band. It is also available on a stainless steel bracelet option. He did want me to point out that it wasn't the cost difference that made him pick up the rubber band. It was the fact that he wanted to wear it and work and he thought it'd be more comfortable. He still comes into work with no watch on, but hey ho. I actually think that the rubber band is a very good option on these pieces. It is very comfortable, as you would expect. Has a few little nifty features on it. See this keeper here, the second keeper, well, that locks in to the buckle holes to give it a more secure fit. We have the Amiga logo on the first keeper, Seamaster logo on the second. Another thing that is worth a mention is the buckle. It is stainless steel buckle. We have a mixture of finishing on this one also, but one thing that is really, really cool about this is that The edging here, where it's high polish on the side, and here mimics the lugs on the casing, which is a really nice feature. It's obvious that they thought about every single aspect, and that's the way that it should be when you're charging this type of money for a watch, and you've got this type of history behind you, this type of history behind this actual model. So it's nice to see that Omega are keeping up the standards. Now, one thing that I didn't really get to do with the Speedmaster video is to try the watch on properly, give it a wear, and show you on my wrist, but rubber band, so I don't have to resize this. So let's get it on wrist and see how it goes. Here we go. This is a Seamaster on wrist. This is 100% the most expensive thing that I have ever had on my wrist. Absolutely gorgeous piece though, isn't it? Yeah. The case on the Speedmaster and the Seamaster really does do a lot for me. I think the case design is absolutely fantastic. It's not just straightforward. It's got a lot of machining in it. It's got a lot of curves. It's got a really nice effect to it. It's just nice. It's just nice. You can kind of see where the money goes. You can see where the effort goes in the design of the piece, which isn't always the case with high-end watches, but it definitely is with this one. This rubber band it's a good fit. It's not the world's most comfortable piece to wear, but when it looks like this, do I really care? I don't think I do. Now, in the interest of fairness, no matter what watch I get on this channel, I always try to put a moan section at the end. Therefore, let's try and critique Omega's Master Co-Axial. Yeah, this will go well. I'm sure Steve will thank me for this after he's just spent $4,000 of his hard-earned cash on it. So, firstly, that price point, not easily accessible. Now, that is the moan, not easily accessible. But the value of this watch, I think it's 100% worth it. It's just that level of absolute craftsmanship that I just think, yeah, I get it with this one. I don't always get it with every piece that's in this price range, but with these, the Speedmasters, yeah, I get it. I understand why people go out and spend that much money on these. I completely get it. Not that I have that money to spend on them, unfortunately, but yeah, I understand them. Secondly, not everyone is a fan of this helium escape valve. I know that much. Personally, I absolutely love the case, but I was really struggling to find another moan, and I didn't want to just make one. So, yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. I've absolutely loved having this piece in. It's just, yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic. When you get a watch like this in hand, you start to look at it more like a piece of craftsmanship. The amount of hours and the amount of skill that goes into making one of these pieces, it's just phenomenal. And yeah, one day, guys, maybe one day. So guys, the new most expensive watch the channel has ever seen, the Omega Speedmaster 300 meter Co-Axial. Yeah, it's probably going to be a bit tough to beat this one, if I'm honest. But, you know, maybe one day. Just have to find my way into one of Jacob & Co.'s showrooms and see what I can find unlocked. Joke, obviously. But it is an absolutely gorgeous piece, even for the amount of money that you have to pay for it. It's just, yeah, it's a forever watch. It's a Grail watch. It's something that is going to be with you forever. You're probably going to give it to your kid. He's probably going to give it to his kid. It's just, I hate doing these ones because it makes me want watches like this, and you know they're expensive. So yeah. One last thing to probably do is to thank Steve for lending me this watch. It may have only been for a night because he doesn't trust me, but it's enabled me to make this video for you, and it's something a little bit special for 2,500 subscribers, isn't it? So nice one, Steve. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Please do remember to subscribe. Maybe we'll get something that we can beat this with in the 5,000 subscriber video. I'll have to work hard to pull that one out, but yeah, let's see what we can do. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one.